Hi, and welcome back to Fed Mail. Good to see you on this Friday afternoon. Shabbat Shalom to you. This week marked the somber 500th day since the October 7th attack. I wrote up a rather lengthy analysis of the situation. I'd love for you to have a look and to let me know what you think. You can find that in Fed Mail below, but it talks about the realities on the ground, what we may see in the future, the position Israel finds itself in, and some of the reporting on the situation we find ourselves in locally in Central Mass as it relates to some of the political activism that's taken place over these past 16 months now. This week also saw the return of the remains of the Bibas family. I should clarify that what was supposed to be Shiri Bibas, the mother's remains, turned out to be a coffin containing a yet to be identified individual. The atmosphere in Gaza during this transfer with the Red Cross and Hamas officials was circus-like. There was jeering, taunting, triumphant music playing. I think it only compounded our understanding that the depravity of the attackers on October 7th knows no bounds. It was horrifying, it was tragic, it was sad, and made a terrible situation that much worse. Also this week we saw the remains of Oded Lifshitz, a peace activist, someone who had worked in to help the intercommunal relationship between the people of Gaza and Israel. He was murdered in captivity and his remains were handed over. So all of this was a terrible week. And because Shiri Lifshitz remains were not in the coffin as they were supposed to be under the agreement, the ceasefire agreement, this may mean that the ceasefire falls apart. We shall see. Ron Dermer is now tapped with the hostage negotiations, and there were two major conferences that took place, both in one in the United States and one in the Gulf states, to discuss the future of Gaza. So we'll see what news comes out about that as well. But all the way around, very difficult week. And I have to say, I want to make note that the local activists who had been pushing for a ceasefire have been silent about the fact that Hamas had threatened to break the ceasefire last week. This week they, for all intents and purposes, broke the ceasefire by not handing over the remains of Shiri Bibas. And then yesterday, buses were blown up in Tel Aviv in an apparent terrorist attack planned by Hamas. Thankfully, there were no casualties because the explosions happened when the buses were empty. But nonetheless, this is supposed to be a ceasefire, and this is going on. And yet, we didn't hear a word. Conspicuous silence, I should say, from the city councilors, Atel and Tu, who led the major ceasefire push for the resolution. Congressman McGovern, who made statements and was an early advocate for an unconditional ceasefire, forcing Israel into that early on, and we've heard nothing. So I don't know what to say. I believe their silence, the silence speaks for itself. And I'll leave it at that. Taking place in our community this week are a number of programs, not the least of which is the JCC Gala coming up. So hope that you all have got your tickets. It's always one of the premier events in the community. And I'm sorry I won't be with you to join in the fun this week. Also, there are a number of Purim programs coming up, and BI has a Born at BI series taking place this weekend. You should always check the Federation calendar or the calendar of your congregation, and if you don't belong to a congregation, join one. We've got a lot of great synagogues, temples, and congregations in the community, and they'd love to have your membership. I also want to thank you for continuing to work with us and partner with us. These last 500 days, as I said before, have been excruciating, have been difficult, have been unprecedentedly difficult. And we thank each and every one of you for your support and partnership. With that, I want to wish you a good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom, and see you soon. Thank you again. Bye-bye.